What if everything you've been taught about success, power, and how the world truly works is a beautifully crafted lie? Society feeds us these nice, neat rules, the ones that keep things orderly, predictable, and frankly, keep most people exactly where they are. But there's a different path, a dangerous path, illuminated by one of history's most controversial thinkers, Niccolo Machiavelli. Welcome to Skyward Synergy, and trust me, after today, you'll never look at good behavior the same way again. Today, we're tearing down 10 sacred rules society demands you follow, only to expose the raw, unfiltered lessons Machiavelli dared to speak aloud. These aren't about being evil for evil's sake. They are about survival, about understanding the brutal mechanics of power, and yes, about achieving your own skyward synergy in a world that often rewards cunning far more than innocence. You might feel uncomfortable, and that's exactly the point, because the truth often is. First up, rule number 1, always be honest. We're taught from childhood that honesty is the best policy, right? But Machiavelli, he saw it differently. He argued that rulers, and by extension anyone seeking influence, must appear virtuous, but be ready to lie when necessary. Truth, he'd tell you, is a tool. It's not some sacred, unbreakable duty. Imagine you're in a high-stakes negotiation. Is revealing every weakness truly in your best interest? Or is a calculated deception, a strategic omission, the move that secures your position? Machiavelli wasn't saying be a pathological liar, no. He was saying, understand that honesty has its time and place, and sometimes, the most honest thing you can do for your ambition is to be selectively dishonest. And that leads us directly into our next rule that society desperately wants you to follow. Play fair. Fairness. Everyone loves a fair game. We're conditioned to believe in a level playing field. But Machiavelli would just smirk. He teaches that power, real power, often comes to those who know how to bend, or even break, the rules just enough. Society glorifies playing by the book, but what if the book was written by those who benefit most from you staying within its pages? Picture a chess match. The grandmaster doesn't just play fair, they play strategically. They anticipate, they manipulate, they create advantages. They don't apologize for winning because they outmaneuvered their opponent. This isn't about cheating in the traditional sense, but understanding the system, finding its soft spots, and leveraging them. It's about cunning strategy over naive adherence to fairness. But that's not even the most unsettling part. What about how people perceive you? Society says, be loved, not feared. This one is probably Machiavelli's most infamous lesson. We all want to be liked, right? To be adored, to have people cheer us on. But Machiavelli famously said it's safer to be feared than loved. Think about it. Love is fickle. It can turn on a dime, swayed by rumors, by a bad day, by a new shiny object. Fear, though? Fear ensures obedience. It creates a boundary, a respect for your authority that doesn't waver with public opinion. When people fear the consequences of disrespecting you, they think twice. It's a harsh truth, especially in leadership. But Machiavelli understood that pure affection is a foundation built on shifting sand. You might not like this one, but you can't deny its chilling logic in the real world. Which brings us to another societal pillar: never betray trust. This one is tough. Loyalty, trustworthiness. These are supposed to be cornerstones of character. But Machiavelli, ever the pragmatist, saw loyalty as fragile. He suggested that betrayal, if timed perfectly, can be the most effective way to eliminate rivals and consolidate your authority. I know, it sounds ruthless. And it is. This isn't about casually stabbing friends in the back. This is about moments of intense strategic necessity, where the survival of your vision, your power, or your enterprise hinges on a decisive and perhaps painful action. History is littered with examples of those who hesitated, only to be betrayed themselves. It's a dark mirror, showing us that sometimes, the only way to protect what you've built is to preemptively dismantle threats, no matter the cost. And speaking of costs, What about violence is always wrong? Society tells us violence is never the answer, and in most everyday contexts, that's absolutely true. But Machiavelli believed that cruelty, when swift and decisive, could actually stabilize rule and prevent greater chaos. He wasn't advocating for random acts of terror. He was talking about calculated, surgical force that eliminates a threat quickly, rather than allowing prolonged suffering or instability. Imagine a surgeon making a painful, but necessary, incision to save a life. It's a brutal parallel, but it illustrates his point. Sometimes, a sharp, quick pain prevents a far worse, drawn-out agony. This is where morality and practicality collide head-on, and Machiavelli consistently chose practicality. Which brings us to the next massive challenge. Morality guides leadership. This is perhaps where Machiavelli truly broke from his contemporaries. He rejected idealism completely. He argued that leaders simply must act on what works, not on what is right in a purely moral sense. The goal is stability, power, and the continuation of the state or your organization. If a morally questionable action achieves that goal more effectively than a morally pure one, then the leader must choose the effective path. It's not about being immoral, but about being amoral in the pursuit of results. It's about the harsh reality that sometimes the good choice leads to collapse, while the bad choice saves everything. This perspective forces us to confront the uncomfortable truth that real-world leadership isn't a morality play. And if that wasn't enough, what about reputation doesn't matter? Oh, but it absolutely does. Society might tell you to just be yourself, but Machiavelli knew better. He taught that image is everything. Even if a leader is corrupt underneath, they must master appearances to look virtuous, to maintain legitimacy in the eyes of the public. Think about modern branding, political campaigns, even how you present yourself in an interview. Perception is reality for most people. If you look capable, trustworthy, and strong, that's what people will believe, regardless of the messy truth behind the curtain. It's a masterclass in PR, centuries before PR was even a thing. And this ties into our next rule that is always being broken. Trust the people. Trust the people. A noble sentiment, a cornerstone of democracy. But Machiavelli understood that public opinion is incredibly malleable. He saw that by controlling the narrative, by shaping information, you could effectively manipulate the masses and, by extension, control society. Look around today: social media, news cycles, carefully crafted messages. Leaders who master this control aren't just trusting the people, they're guiding them, sometimes subtly, sometimes overtly, towards a desired outcome. This isn't about blind faith in the populace. It's about understanding the psychology of collective thought and steering it. And if that's not dark enough, what about something as fundamental as faith? Never exploit religion. For many, religion is sacred, a personal journey. But Machiavelli, ever the pragmatist, saw religion as a powerful tool, a weapon, even. He believed it could be used to unify and control populations. History is full of examples where faith was invoked to rally armies, to justify conquests, or to maintain social order. It's not about whether the faith itself is true or false from Machiavelli's perspective. It's about its utility as a social and political force. Leaders who understand this can tap into profound human drives and direct them. This isn't a judgment on faith, but an observation of its historical and ongoing power in the hands of the strategic. And finally, society often whispers, power must be shared. This sounds great, doesn't it? Decentralize, empower everyone. But Machiavelli had a stark warning: dispersed power breeds instability. He argued that the concentration of control, the centralization of authority, is what truly ensures survival and effective governance. Imagine trying to steer a ship with 50 captains. Chaos. A single clear vision, executed by a consolidated authority, brings stability and decisive action. For Machiavelli, sharing power was a recipe for weakness and eventual collapse. especially in times of crisis. His ultimate lesson for the prince was to be the undisputed center of control. So why do these dangerous rules still matter for you, for us, today at Skyward Synergy? Machiavelli's dark wisdom isn't about cruelty for cruelty's sake, nor is it a mandate to become a villain. It's a chillingly pragmatic guide to survival in a world where morality and politics, idealism and reality rarely align. These dangerous rules remind us that society's moral codes often serve the powerful, and understanding how to break them, or at least how they are broken, can expose the hidden mechanics of control and give you a profound advantage. It's about seeing the matrix, not just living within it. What will you do with this uncomfortable truth? Let me know in the comments below.